In this tutorial, I'll show you how to use Knife Project in Blender. This is not an animation tutorial, but a tutorial on how to use the Knife Project feature that was recently changed. We used to select both meshes, went to Edit mode, and Knife Projected. That procedure no longer works. I'll show you how these cuts were made by the new Knife Projection method. I have used a random spooky font to create the background text with an emission shader. Let me hide the meshes, and show you how the pumpkin mesh was created. Let's create a UV sphere with 16 segments. Tab, to go to edit mode, and 2, to edge select. Alt-select half an edge loop like this. Press Ctrl, Alt, Shift, and select more half edge loops like this. C, to circle select. We need to bevel the selected edge loops. Ctrl B to bevel, and mouse wheel up once to add one more loop cut in the middle. Let's shift select the middle loop cuts like this. S to scale. Ctrl 3 to subdivide. Right-click and shade smooth to smooth the surface. In edit mode, type 1 to vertex select. Let's proportionally scale them down like this. (3) to face select. C to circle select. Let's select this region. We need to save the selected vertices in order to apply two colors. We need one for stem and another for a brown spot around it. Let's create 3 materials first. I wanted to show you how this gets done, because although it looks easy, it's not. Suppose we were working with a highly densed mesh that was already subdivided, and we had to figure out a way to extrude this region. After extruding, we have to figure out how to select and apply a brown material around the bottom of the stem fast. Let's apply the green material to the selection, and type 1 to vertex select. Ctrl G to save the selection. Let's expand the selection. Let's try to select the green region again, and we'll notice the selection has disappeared. Let's use the saved vertices. E to extrude. Let's select the middle edge loop and scale it proportionally a little bit. Finally, let's randomly select the vertices like this and scale them proportionally. Time for the main event. Let's import the SVG. I'll share the link in the description below. Shift-select one of the selected curves, and Ctrl-J to join them. R, X, and 90 to rotate the mesh 90 degrees on the X axis. Convert to mesh, convert to curve, and convert to mesh. That way we'll only have the outline. I found this method myself, and we can extract only the clean outlines from the SVG imports this way. This is what we used to do to Knife project. We shift-selected both objects, went to edit mode, and knife projected. That always worked. I don't know when the procedure was changed, but this method no longer works. Check out this error message. It took quite a while to figure out what went wrong, and how to bypass the error message. This is really weird, but this is what we need to do. Select the Knife Project target mesh and go to Edit mode. Next, Control-select the Knife Project source mesh in the outliner at the top right corner of the screen. Blender's Knife Project will only work this way. Let's try that again. Select the target object, and go to Edit mode. Control-select the source object in the outliner to Knife Project. One thing we should never forget is checking to see if the target mesh has any active modifiers. If we do have one or more, this issue will occur. Please always apply the modifiers before knife projecting. I'll extrude inward, save the selection as vertices, and apply an emission shader to the selection. I'm using Eevee with bloom. Let's expand the selection, and apply the brown material. There is our finished pumpkin mesh. I'll show you how the animation was created. For the background text, I have created it with a random spooky font, and animated it on the Z-axis like this. If you're not sure how I have animated the text, please watch the previous animation tutorials to learn how the keyframing was done. This cool-looking camera angle thing was done by constraining the camera to a curve and make it follow the path while tracking the mesh. This was the curve. The sphere was created to block all external lights. This is the end of the tutorial. Thank you for watching.